La leche. Parity, not patriarchy. Past, present, futures. Here's we are again. It's the Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's Couszmic. You see, we have some company, and that's what we like to call ourselves and use. All of us. So we have our four-legged companies. All of us two-legged companies. So that's what we like to call ourselves and use. All of us, everyone's. But in order to connect our names and purposes to other archetypal languagings of hers and histories on this, our homes, and all our planets, past, present, futures, we also call ourselves other names, such as ever young goddesses and gods archetypal use. Now, does that mean we're trying to become, does that mean we're trying to become a pantheon above others? No. What we are delivering is divine democracies, so that all of the Elohas and Elohims, all the Eli circles and arrowways, all the females and males that God has created, past, present, futures, cans and shells and cans, comes together again, back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact on this and all our planets, heavens, and on all earths. Now, does that in any way suggest that we're trying to usurp the ever-young, ever-livings, ever-lovings authorities of the one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe? No, of course not. There is only one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe, ever-present in all creations and all sustainings, including us and all that we know and have ever known and shall ever known, past, present, futures, and all the flora and fauna, that is all our families and communities, all the females and males, back and forth in circle, times, and balance and contact, and all the flora and fauna that God is God, and we say that reparative is the divine feminines, and reparative is the divine feminines, and masculine is equal use, and all the flora and fauna that God has given us to coast towards and appreciates. And so we also says, Namaste, divines with us, Greece divines within you alls, and we says, Mikotuya oyosin, Mikotuya kosid rolls. We are ennies and alls and also and ennies related, and because we are alls and ennies related, we cans and shells and cans comes together again, back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact, and we also says the allies with us, Greece, the allies within you and alls, because we know is that we are all made of star stuff, and because we are heedings the divine, the kind and divine wisdom and kindness of the ancient civilizations, the divine feminine families, egalitarian civilizations, especially in the Magellanian era, and especially of Atlantis and Thrace and Ubuntu, going back and forth to my leaves before and after and during, and Vedics and Druidics, and more, all the nativities, all the indigenous families, communities that became very organized in various ways on our planet, and actually be intertwining as one family. And so we also says that we call ourselves other names. We call ourselves co-white cat buffalo women, co-change women, Iroquois, goddess clan mothers, and in fact goddess co-sister casinas and co-cousin brothers, goddesses of gods. We call ourselves co-sky women, co-earth women, co-spider women, co-kachinas, co-katsinas. We call ourselves co-daganaf, co-kalki. We call ourselves co-rishas and yumayas. We call ourselves co-avashas, co-onions, Buddhists, co-zayashans, and Couszmic Chrisztsz. Now, don't let that word Christ intimidate you. The word Christ in ancient languages simply translates to anointed. Anointed to do what? To do the recombining of kindness and wisdom, reunited, back and forth in circles, times, reparatively as divine feminines, reparatively with the honor of divine feminines and masculine equally on this and all our planets for heavens on this earth and on all our earths. Now, it's cosmic, and so therefore we call ourselves other names, such as co-Estelarians and co-Eastelarians, co-A-Esteralians and co-A-Easteralians, because we are combining the messages of Shushan, that is 50-50 promise fulfilled and delivered, with that of the Galilee, that is the Magdalens and Nazarenes, right intertwinings again, as they were in fact originally as the Venusians and Marians of ancient Atlantis, connecting that to the Eliukoseva. Mystery ceremonies are updated versions of these mystery ceremonies of Atlantis and Thrace and Ubuntu, going back and forth to these before and after endurance, Vegas, Druidics, and some more, Persians and all that, Judeo-Christians, Persians, all Zoroastrians, Moors, and says, so therefore, we also call ourselves the very real Stargates, Atlantis, and Holy Lands and Sacred Earth's Risens, for reborns, nativities, and always risen springs, and heavens on earth, on this and all of our planets. The last shall be first, go first. Teams very real, Stargate and Star Trek, parity, peace, cultures, for heavens on this and all our earths. Now, sounds like it's a daunting task to co-occurringly open the Akashic records and the Stargates co-occurringly, but actually it's easily accomplished via the numerical rule, which you can read at 5050 not at WordPress.com, and just next week read the 11 steps for easily accomplished strategies for making us on this. So you also see a page on the website called Amongst the Representatives Use, and Use. Use, and use, because use, cans, shells, and cans joins us in becoming Equinoxtrueqsz, Press Secretary General Chrisztsz. The only issue we remain concerned about is whether or not we silly and stupid to lose our opportunities to do this on this planet and in connection with other planets, and have to come back again from somewhere else in the universe to do this again, according to our comic swing with not so good or good and not so good. But we actually leave with cans and shells and cans, redeems and be rewarded, redeems enables it up to do this now and accomplishes it now. And you can see a David picture again, say all of them. We'll say some of them. You see we have our family trees, and yours too, symbolized by picture frames. We start genealogically and genealogically. First with our great and grandmothers, and then all the females, all the Shekinas of the families, past, present, futures, and then our youngest generations, equally, especially, essentially, also our intergenerational responsibilities to love, especially our youngest generations, females and males, Allahs and Elohims, Eli circles and always. And we'll say some of the names, because we'll say some of them now. We have Jigna and Queen Esther, and all Iroquois, Dykes clan mothers, and also more recently, Barbara Herschel and Lydia Costanza, and also, of course, Virginia and Lydia Villan New Times. And we have, of course, our Kuwait Cap women, Myrtle Rosemary and Pearl, and especially Mount Patricia Sunflowers, and equally Martha's and Myrtles and Sophies, and Anne Singing Crickets and Loyalties and Laura's and lots more there. And we have our Ubuntu families. We have our Orishas and Mayas. We have our Annes and Josephines of Risen as Roosevelts. We have our Liam Galas and Gogas and Goggies and lots more there. We have our Lights families. We have Sylvia and Bonnie and lots more there, and Magdalena's in there. We have, of course, our Estelarian families. We have Mary and Hannah, Ellen's, and more there. And we have lots more, especially near Sinders, our hearts, Estrella and Liberty and Estrella, intertwines with, of course, beloveds as Harriet and Radiant Ray, and it's Harriet, traveling back and forth in circles times, Clary, Jubilant, Javon, Precious Internet, Risen Rose, Grim Marie, Grim Papa, Granette, all the grace restored, Grim Dorothy's, teaching and learnings, all the lessons of Wizardesses of Oz, that we all have, and connected with Rachel and Wilson, the Stargates families, and did I say, Lynn and Leona and Jenny and Rachel and Richard, and the Stargates families, our current generations of females. We have our Esther's and Rachel's and Marie's and Julie and Marie's, and Equuies and Dia's Divines and Barbara's and Jenny's and lots more, and especially those young generations, April's Risen, Rose Risen, Earth Angelines, also if you need Hesperus and Hallel's, Stacey and Stassi, Swim Mystery 20s, of course, the Lighting Lees, Vanessa Sally and Harlan's of Mrs. Wesley's, Equuies, Vanessa Sally and Harlan's of Wesley's, and Hadassah and Grandma, Leon Ross, Ben Shannon, John, Bright and Blessed Zabos, and more are coming, raise, always, always each learnings, or relatedly soon, for let's say, Party Not Patriarchy, every blessing.